Hi everyone, and welcome to the General Hospital recap for July 14th. If you haven't watched my other ones in the mass upload, basically heatwave, miserable, too hot to film, filming now, cool. That's what you missed. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I will recap right now. What am I saying? I am lost. At the park, Valentine and Alexis are gonna have a picnic. Not really, but they do meet in the park. She has legal papers for Valentine. He's being sued. It's a civil suit for wrongful death. Whatever happened in the criminal case has no bearing. Take that. So Spencer is suing him for the wrongful death of his father. He says this lawsuit is frivolous and baseless. Welcome to America! You can sue for anything you want. He thinks that this is all about her extorting money from Spencer. Okay, family politics. So she says it's not so baseless. Ava's affidavit doesn't paint a beautiful picture of what happened that night, and it'd be a shame if he had to sell his house to pay for the damages. And he threatens to bury her in litigation and, pulling Nicholas apart again. That's the American way here. She won't back down. He says she doesn't know the truth. She's going ahead and is going to get Spencer everything he asked for. So, at the floating rib, Laura talks to Spencer about Valentine again. Apparently, he's no longer thinking about violence. He has a different plan. He's excited to tell her his plan. He tells her about, the lawsuit, the civil suit for wrongful death. She says, okay, it'll take a while, but, it's the right avenue, and heck, why not? And then she gets a text, and I think it's about Scott's father. So Spencer heads off straight to camp in his car that Chandler's driving, because he can't drive, obviously. Oh, my goodness. Messy hair Tuesday mornings. Is that a thing? It is now. At Scott's, Serena is at the door. The scene is a bit different from yesterday's Serena being at the door, but, whatever. They all hug, and, I feel like I know her from somewhere, but the IMDb turned up nothing except for, Lizzie McGuire, and I'm pretty sure that's not where I know her from, so I have to figure this out. She has pictures of their last, of her last day with her grandfather. She was visiting her grandparents when this happened. They went fishing and took selfies, and apparently Lee, loved selfies. He was obsessed with them. He really liked the idea of them. But anyway, there was a beautiful sunset that night as well, and he was really happy, but he said he felt strange. And they saw then he was really pale, and then he was just gone. She has something from Lee to Scott. It's a little lure I think he used to make when he was a kid. He tells a story of how he fell in the lake when he was a kid, and Lee jumped in after him, and but he feels he wasn't there when his father needed him. She says he wasn't afraid of death. He was afraid of people not knowing how he truly felt about them. So Laura's at the door. She says, hi to Serena. She hasn't seen her in forever. I haven't seen her ever. Laura tells Scott Lee knew how much he loved him, even though Scott feels he never told him. Serena and Laura really help him through, and Laura's going to head out. At the Metro Court suite, Amy and Nathan are there. She's going to feed him the answers for the interview through a headset. And they're going to, sit very strategically so he can see her, but she can't be seen by the interviewer. And he has to take off his wedding ring. So the interview starts. It's a podcast interview, which is perfect because, only the interviewer sees him, and obviously, you know how podcasts work. Unless you're Jen and Julia and you film you making the podcast, then it wouldn't work. So he's not comfortable talking about his own personal life. And he says he has a lot of friends who are women, and he listens when they speak, so it gives him the inside track. Okay, cool. Now time for questions. The first one is pretty much the exact situation Nathan's in. Long distance relationship, except they're not married. That's the difference. Oh my goodness, what kind of bird is that? It's huge. Amy gets him back on track because it really distracts him because he thinks about Maxie. So he gives this guy amazing advice. He's like, you love this woman for all her passions and interests, and not that she would live or exist for you, and neither of them would expect the other to give up their work and what they love. So give it time, endure the distance, and then you will have overcome the biggest obstacle. And I'm like, I'm even inspired. I want to make my long distance relationship work, and I'm not even in one. Another bird. What kind of birds are you? I think they might be, I don't know, they're huge. So Nathan is giving his own really good advice. Like, Amy isn't even feeding it to him. Like, he is just going and just doing great. He is turning into Ask Man Lander. So at the Metro Court, Sonny tells Kiki about the updated custody. He has full legal and custodial rights of Avery. Kiki gets it, but her mom lost so much. He says he just went to see Ava and explained everything, and she accepted it. And Kiki says that means she's really given up. So Kiki made Morgan very happy, and that's all that matters to Sonny. Oh, these birds, they're so big and they keep flying so low. They're probably going after my espresso beans because that's how I'm this awake. So Kiki feels bad for Ava, but she knows Avery is better off with Sonny and Carly, and she's invited over anytime she wants. Kiki appreciates that, and she wants to go see Avery right now. So Ava's in Ava's room at German Hospital. Ava dreams her face is perfectly healed, and Dante immediately arrests her. And then she wakes up and Dante's still there. Oh, what are you gonna do? Why can't that happen to me? You know, dream Dante's there and it's like, oh, hi. So Dante wants her to confess, and she goads him and says he doesn't have a case, and he answers to Sonny and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, you feel really, really guilty about what you did. So Spencer comes in to see Ava. She thinks he's afraid of her, and he says he's not. He's been where she is, and his heart is with her, as is his father's, because this is how he speaks. She wishes she knew his father better, and he reminds her a lot of Nicholas. They were like, I love that last year, that whole Ava Nicholas thing. So he tells her about the civil suit, and she tells him that she would tell a jury that Nicholas died a hero defending her. Spencer and Ava really have a moment, and he even hugs her. So Kiki comes in to visit Ava with Avery, and Avery is scared. So, I mean, I know Kiki's heart was in the right place, but I feel like just the hospital, being at the hospital in general, even if you know, I feel like it was more about the environment and not, like, she doesn't understand what she's afraid of. If she, like, anyway. So at the Metro Court, Dante comes in. He has bad news for Sonny. Lovely. The pills are dead end. Sonny feels that someone is protecting someone. The DA won't file charges. They're dropping the case. Sonny can't believe it. It's a huge circumstantial case, you know, and Dante says they have to let it go. Sonny tells Dante he's leaving certain aspects of the business. So now, end scene. Nathan and Amy are done with the interview, and after Amy leaves, the interviewer tells Nathan that Ask Man Landers is going to be a regular. You can't just make that decision. Was that part of the thing that maybe Amy didn't tell him? But you can't just say, hey, you're a regular now. Like, let's say I ever get anyone famous on here, which I won't, right? But if I ever do, I'll be like, hey, Maurice Bernard, you're a regular on my vlog now. Like, he'll be like, what? That makes no sense. So Scott, Serena, and Lucy toast to Lee. Kiki bringing Avery totally backfired. Ava feels that she's terrifying. She doesn't want Avery to come back ever. Laura is at the park to get Spencer. Alexis is still there. Alexis tells them how it went. They're ready to beat Valentin. Valentin is trying to have the lawsuit thrown out. Seems like that won't happen, and he's going to have to deal with it himself. Excuse me? I don't think so. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in 2 seconds. More German Hospital. I have a few more of these to do. I'm still not totally caught up because the days keep happening, and that is rude, Mr. Airplane. But I will see you in 2 seconds for more German Hospital. Okay, bye.